now they want to, work their run game maybe a little bit different.
What's been the secret to you guys getting off the field on third down this year?
Oh, it's been great for us. That's the key for us to winning games. When we haven't been able to get off the field, we haven't won the games. When we do, we play pretty good defense. I think one of the things is we're very aggressive on third down, getting after it. And if you're going to get off the field on third down, obviously you have to have some success on first and second because we're getting some third and longer ones. It's when you get in third and short that you don't have a lot of success on third downs. And, I think our guys have bought into what we're trying to get done on defense.
How much of it is attitude? Third down attitude?
Well, we talk about it. Well, it does. I mean, that's one of the things we preach about all the time is getting off the field on third down. We make it a big point, and when we practice, we constantly try to emphasize. That's always been a point of emphasis, and you don't always get what you emphasize. We've been emphasizing turnovers. Now we got to get some turnovers. Coach has been preaching. We've moved that to the front of practice now, and talk about turnovers and us not having turnovers. So it's always going to be a point of emphasis. And if you're going to be good on defense, you better get off on third down.
How much different a player is Riddick from the kid that came here?
Well, he's matured greatly along the lines. I think, you can just watch at practice how comfortable he is. It's not only with the scheme and everything, it's with his teammates. And when you start to see the banter back and forth, they have fun. He understands the locker room better. He understands the players better. They understand him. And so I think he's matured, greatly as a player.
Possible NFL player?
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to look at Shaq. He's a big, long body. He runs well. Obviously, he will not play a 5 technique in the NFL. He'll have to probably be a stand-up outside linebacker. He's only 240-some pounds, and things can get a little bit dicey when you're playing that 4 technique on a tackle at that weight. But stand him up, he runs well, and I think that's, people will see what he can do off the edge.
How much credence do you put in the idea that in bowl games, the team that's the most excited to play typically wins?
Dana preaches that all the time. He's talked about our team, and I think that's more of a way to get them ready to go, understanding that what an important game is. I've always felt with all the bowl games, the key is being able to get caught up to speed as fast as you can. And by that I mean, you've been hitting, slow pitch, and all of a sudden you're getting the fastballs are coming quickly, and that tackling, is always an issue because how much do you tackle against yourselves? How much live tackling do you do against each other? And that's always the tricky part because, boy, you'd hate to lose your starting tailback because and you hate, there's always the give and go. And when you have a really good football team, especially for a bowl game, they have to learn to practice against each other. And we've gotten that. That's one of the good things we've been able to do. We get 20 plays each and every day. We go against each other. The kids protect each other. By that I mean guys coming across them, and they could lambaste them or someone could, cut us. We don't do it. They get better. They get used to the speed. But the key is, to me, has always been being excited for the game, ready to play, understanding your opponent, being disciplined when you get to the bowl site. You're there for a reason. Sure, you have fun, but it's time to lock down. It's a reward. You deserve it. But, we're here to the big thing is you're there to win the football game. And so the focus and the leadership of your seniors comes into play, or your older guys have to understand, why they're there. Once you get past that part, it's getting caught up to speed as quickly as you can and surviving that first quarter.
After not going to a bowl last year, does this team have the leadership in the upper class? It doesn't have the experience, certainly, of a bowl, but it have the leadership.
The leadership, whether you go to a bowl game or not, is developed to me over the course of your off season and your season. So it really, to me, if you're going to say, well, you don't have as much bowl experience, I don't buy that because what happens, and I've been places where we sat out one year and came back the next 2 and play for national championships. So your leadership is really going to be key when you get down to the bowl game, making sure that everybody's on the same page and keep doing things the right way. Because of the confusion, you have a system, and now you go to a bowl game and everything's a little bit out of whack. It's a different bed, it's a different atmosphere, it's a different practice facility. Your meeting rooms are different. It's keeping everybody on the same page, being organized, understanding the purpose that you're there for the game.
Have you seen that gamut from all the bowls that you prep for? I mean, you hear coaches, they say, well, we look bad and then we play good, or we play, we look great and we play bad. What is the constant there?
It's interesting. As I've been to a lot of bowl games, obviously. I've coached, and there's times that, you think you're ready to go, you're not, and vice versa. I don't put much stock. Sometimes I go out for warm-ups, like, man, we look bad today and we play great. Sometimes I think we play great and we're not. I mean, there's been a couple bowl games where we've actually had to slow it down because we were ready too early. There's a way you want to pitch this thing right, and because I remember one time talking to Joe, and I said, Coach, we're ready too early. And he said, why don't you put something new and we're not going to use it, but act like we are, just because, because you don't want them to get,
Interesting.
It's a very interesting dichotomy how you go about. Everybody has a different philosophy on the preparations, but once again, it's a reward for the players. They deserve it. They deserve to have fun. They deserve to do it, but understand why we're there.
Well, think back to that 86